his spew and creep, that's actually going to delay the Terran's third, which he actually is getting up at the moment. Actually building 2 command centers at the same time, so probably looking to double expand. This expansion is going to get delayed, and depending on when that Overlord gets killed, he is going to be scouting the 4th command center flying down as well. So at the moment, Zerg is getting his Spire up as well as his Hive, and he is researching burrow and melee attack upgrades too. So he is probably going to be going for some mutas to harass, and depending on how good his economy is doing in the later game, he is probably going to be looking to get some Broodlords up as well. Now the Marines at the Xel'Naga Tower do get taken out by the Zerglings, and Brockemon does finally take out that Overlord. He is going to scout that 3rd base is coming up, and I'm actually not sure if we saw that 4th base fly over. If we take a look at his vision, he actually didn't see that. So a couple of Marines were pushing up to the Xel'Naga Tower, which did get taken out. So Brockemon actually looking to double expand at the moment, waiting for that creep to come disappear still. If that Overlord was there for a substantial amount of time, it actually takes approximately a full minute for that creep to disappear. So that actually is a good opportunity for Zerg to plan an attack, try to attack that expansion before it actually becomes fully operational. And no, I was not quoting a battle cruiser just then. Well, it would be pretty nice to see some battle cruisers come out, but at the moment, he does have 1 starport, so you never know what might happen. Zerg choosing get the Carapace upgrade level 2. Terran choosing go for armor and weapon upgrades, and Zerg is actually getting his Greater Spy, so we are going to be seeing some Broodlords come out. The Corruptors do pop, and he is getting the Neural Parasite for the Infestors. So if Terran does choose to go for Thors again, he is probably going to try to use the Neural Parasite on the Thors, try to cause some damage to their own units. And we do see the Broodlords being morphed in. It's probably not the best idea to morph them inside your base, since Broodlords do tend to move pretty slow. If I was the Zerg, I would actually move to the side a bit, morph them in, and then move into the Terran's base. Basically, they move so slow that if you do move out and you get caught out of position, that is going to spell quite a bit of trouble. The Terran actually still scouting for additional bases, but Zerg's still sitting on... Actually no, he does have his 5th coming up at the moment. So Zerg is on 5 bases, Terran is on 4 bases. He does have a planetary fortress at his 4, so that's going to be pretty well defended. Brockemon actually did a pretty good thing. He didn't stem his entire Marine army, he only stemmed a couple of them to actually try to drive away the Zerglings at the base. Brockemon doesn't have any medivac support at the moment. The Broodlords are out, so they are probably going to force these siege tanks to unsiege. If not, they're actually going to cause quite a bit of damage to themselves. So Rampager is actually doing a pretty good move at the moment. He's going to get a surround on most of these units, but most of the links are probably going to get taken out by the siege tanks. Although the Banelings come in and take out basically all those siege tanks and most of those Marines. Another wave of Marines actually coming in, try to snipe at those Broodlords, but they're not going to do all that much. Zerg coming in for a flank, but they are going to take out by the siege tanks, but Brockemon is causing quite a bit of damage to his own units from those siege tanks. A couple of Festers coming out, probably looking just to throw down a couple Fungagrowths. The Broodlords do eventually get taken out by the Stin Marines. Another 2 Broodlords on the field, 1 Corruptor on the way. The Terran is getting 2 Vikings out to deal with it, but Zerg should be able to deal with it pretty effectively if he chooses not to morph in a couple of the Corruptors. This Marine is going to see that this 5th base is running, probably going to try to cause a bit of damage there. But other than that, Zerg probably should just stay back with 2 Broodlords, try to get up a number more of them, but the Broodlords are going to get taken out by the Marines and the Vikings. That's probably a mistake by the Zerg not to move out with a couple of Corruptors. Terran does have Medivac on the field right now. This is going to help, especially since with Banelings on the field, it's going to cause quite a bit of damage, so you're going to try to micro away from them. So they're not going to be causing as much DPS as you want. So you kind of want to keep those units alive, especially against a substantial amount of Broodlords. Now, the Zerg is getting level 3 melee upgrade. This is going to help for the Broodlings because they do count as melee damage. This expansion does get taken out by a slight number of Marines with Medivac medivac support. So he's probably going to look to drop into the 4, try to do some damage there, which is actually unprotected at the moment. So most of these drones are probably going to be falling down. Terran choosing to get infantry armor upgrades level 3 as well as weapons, also getting vehicle armor, vehicle weapons level 2. And yeah, at the moment both players are trying to play a bit defensive. Terran is trying to mass up quite a number of units. The 3 Vikings probably are going to be enough to take care of the Broodlords, especially if there is no corruptor support. Now we do see one Infestor actually burrowed at the Zelnaga Tower. He is going to see this unit composition run out. There is no Raven on the field for the Terran, so he isn't going to be able to scout that. We do see the Infestor throwing down a ton of fungal growth. That's actually really effective. Most of these Marines are in red health, so they are going to get taken out pretty easily by the Zerglings. He does choose to burrow the Infestors, keeping it alive. Terran should probably get Raven out just to help detect the burrowed units. At the moment, if this Infestor chooses to pop back up, it probably will be able to get a fungal growth off before it does get sniped out, but Zerg choosing to play it a bit safe. The Broodlords are going to cause the siege tanks quite a bit of problems, but these Vikings are going to be easily able to take them out. The Corruptors do come in. Probably should throw down some corruption to help take out the Vikings as soon as possible, because the Vikings are causing quite a bit of problems for the Zerg, since they are sniping out his Broodlords. Those are very expensive units, and especially since Zerg is actually reduced down to 4 bases instead of 5. This base is not mining. He's probably mined out at his main, or almost mined out at his main. This base actually hasn't been mining at all, so the Zerg is probably actually behind on economy. If we look at the economy tab, Zerg is only at 800 minerals per minute, reaching 900, 1000 at the moment. Terran is at 1300. If we look at the worker count, the Zerg is at 62 drones compared to Terran's 67. Now that actually is never a position you actually want to be in. You always want to be ahead of workers when you're against a Terran, because even if you're at equal numbers, the Terran is still going to have a better income, especially since they have the mules to actually back it up. Now, Brockemon with the air dominance, he is going to be able to scout this cliff face if he does choose to. So the siege tanks are going to be able to snipe up quite a lot. He does have a couple of mutas on the field to help deal with the siege tanks and the Vikings. The Corruptor's not morphing into Broodlords anymore because it's not going to be that cost efficient for him, especially since the Vikings are going to be able to snipe it out. Now he does have quite a few Vikings positioned on the high cliff, so he's going to be able to take out those mutas, and the siege tanks now do have vision of the high ground. So Terran pushing in with a couple of Marines, a couple of Vikings, trying to force Zerg to actually push out a bit so he can come in for the snipe. He can probably snipe off this Broodlord since it is slightly out of position at the moment. Terran getting his 5th base up, sorry. So Terran is just building a slight contain. Zerg still stuck on a couple of bases. These units are out of position a bit, so he is probably going to be looking to snipe them out with just 3 Marines, since Corruptors can't really shoot down, so that's kind of bad for them at the moment. The Infestors do throw down Fungrowth from the high ground. Corruptors still trying to snipe the Vikings. I'd still say Zerg should be using Corruption to try to take out the Vikings as quickly as possible. Rampager does GG out, so that's 3-0 for Brockemon, so he is going to proceed to the grand final. Rampager is still good-mannered in defeat, wishing Brockemon good luck in the tournament. So Brockemon's dominance continues to show, knocking out the crowd favorite of the tournament. And yeah, that's basically about it. This has been Crucius for New South Wales in USID StarSoc as well as into StarCraft. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.